Good morning, students. Today we will start a new chapter of class 11, that is chapter 12, and the chapter is mineral nutrition. We already have completed transportation in plants, and we saw that how different type of food and nutrition is transported in plants. In this chapter we will see which type of nutrients is required by plant. So let's understand it in detail. Suppose let's think about your situation. We all are living organisms. We not only need nutrition but also need nutrients. So here you should know about nutrition and nutrients. Nutrition means what we are eating, and nutrients means the substance which is required by our body for doing various activities. It may due to making our muscles, making our bones strong, increasing our immunity, and so on. Exactly like animals, plants also need some mineral nutrients for their proper and perfect growth. So what are the nutrients? How do we know that plants need different type of nutrients, and which is required in less amount, which is required in more amount, without which nutrient plant can't survive? We will study in this chapter. So here I have told you nutrition means the mode of taking food, which you know already, and nutrients means the essential substance that present in the nutrition. Suppose if we are taking rice or bread or vegetables, then our main motive is to get the nutrient that present in it, not only to fulfill our or fill our stomach, but also to need or to fulfill the different requirements which is happening inside our body. So students, how do we know that plants also need this type of nutrients? First time to know whether plants need nutrients was experimentally proved by the German botanist Julius von Sachs in 1860. Remember the name of the scientist? Julius von Sachs is the German botanist who first time explained that after his experiment that plants need nutrients. Without proper nutrients, plants can't grow. Like you, like plants. As we need some nutrients, also plants need some nutrients for various activities which are occurring inside them. So these nutrients are divided into different types which we will study. One is macronutrient and another is micronutrient. Before it, you should know about hydroponics. Hydroponics is the term which is derived by the scientist Julius von Sachs. He told that after his experiment, plants take nutrients from soil, different type of nutrients from soil by roots. But here, without soil, plant can be grow. Then how plant can grow? From where the nutrients come? The nutrients can be provided through water. So hydroponics is the technique of growing plant without soil. How will define? This is the technique of growing plant in the absence of soil. Can you think of it? Without soil we can able to grow crops and vegetables. So this method is called as hydroponics. In this method, the plants are grown in a medium which is nutrients are provided through water and the root is immersed in it. Suppose this is the tube in which many plants are implanted like this. Here is the solution, nutrient solution, which is taken by the plant. Here is the nutrient solution and these are the plants you can see. These are the plants and this is the method how plants can grow without soil or in the absence of soil. Here the nutrient solution is added in water and this is taken by the plants and continuous air supply is also needed. Why we need to supply air? As you know that air is the most important factor through which plants can take carbon and oxygen. Here oxygen is needed by the plant for respiration because plant is also living, and as you know all living organisms need nutrition, they do respiration, excretion, etc., etc. So here air is pumped into the nutrient solution, then the nutrient solution is passed through the tube in which the plants are grown, and they take the nutrients from the solution. Means here soil is absent and these plants are able to grow. So this technique is called as hydroponics. Clear students? So what is hydroponics? Hydroponics is the technique to grow plants in the absence of soil. So these techniques are nowadays used for producing vegetable crops. This is most widely used for growing vegetable crops in the absence of soil, and on the basis of the requirement of nutrients we can put these nutrients in the water solution, due to which the plants can grow. So which crops or which vegetable crops are drawn through the hydroponic technique? Seedless cucumber, tomato, brinjal are the vegetable crops which are nowadays growing through the technique of hydroponics, and this is the most important technique. So how it helps to know that whether the plant is taking which nutrients in maximum amount? When we put the solution, and after this, after growing up the plant, when we remove these plants to another solution, then from the solution we can see which nutrients are present and which are absent. Suppose for example, let's see, in this solution we provide calcium, then sulfur, then potassium, and after the growth of plant we find that sulfur is present. It means the plant require only calcium and potassium, it doesn't require sulfur. So next time we will grow these plants, then we will not put the nutrient that is containing sulfur. So from this experiment we are able to know what is hydroponics and what is its importance. You can see the diagram, students, how this is made. Clear? So let's see, this is the technique, means this is the technique or method to know mineral requirement, as I have told you here, that how will you able to know which mineral is required by the plant? By this technique. Next we will see, the next topic is mineral nutrients or requirement of essential nutrients. Next is your essential nutrient. If I told you some plants need gold, selenium, tungsten for their growth, can you believe me? You have to believe me. Some plants can grow near the gold mines, means they acquire gold, means gold is present, and which is a requirement or essential requirement. In some cases selenium is found from plant, means it also takes selenium, which is a very expensive metal. Some plants also grow in the area where atomic reactors are present, means they also need some radioactive elements. So they are not the essential nutrients. Suppose for example, let's take our example. Regularly we are taking chapati or vegetables or dal, etc. We are not regularly taking paneer or meat or fish. Why? Because if we don't have this, then we will not die. But the basic requirement of our body is, for survive we need carbohydrate, protein and fats in different amounts. Exactly like this, plants have also some basic nutrient requirement. In the absence of these requirements, this nutrient requirement, plant can't grow. But if extra nutrient is given, then nothing will be harm to the plant. So we will study what are the essential nutrients, means without which element plants can't survive. Here I have give you the example. You must have heard about NPK. NPK is the most common nutrient that is required by all the plants. We know carbon dioxide, then your carbon from carbon dioxide, then oxygen, hydrogen and oxygen from water is required. But this is the nutrient. We are not studying about nutrition, we are studying about nutrients. So NPK, nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus are the basic requirement of all the plants. That's why without these nutrients plants can't show proper growth. That's why when we are cultivating or growing any crop, the most required element we put or we add to the crop field is NPK. But instead of this, which other elements or what other elements also required by the plant and in which amount? Whether they require it in large amount or whether they require it in the small amount. Like when you are taking chapati or dal and you have an apple but you are not getting that apple regularly, then your growth will be not sufficient because you also lack some minerals. If you are not taking paneer every day, then you also lack fat or protein from this. So if we are not getting these substances, we have to fulfill our requirement through other foods. Exactly in case of plants also, if one nutrient is absent, then the plants take other mineral nutrients. As a result, it shows some abnormal growth or the plant will not show proper growth. So let's understand what are essential nutrients and how many amount of them is required. So we can say that the less concentration, that is every plant or each plant require is 10 to the power minus 8 gram. 10 to the power minus 8 gram means gram per milliliter. Gram per milliliter means each milliliter should have contain approximately or minimum the nutrient that is 10 to the power minus 8 gram per milliliter. That is the essentiality of the element which is required. So what are the criteria for essentiality? Means what are the characteristic features of the plant to take any mineral in a proper amount. So let's see criteria for essentiality. As you know that what are the criteria? If I told you the element must be absolutely necessary for supporting normal growth. First criteria, the element which is required by the plant must be absolutely necessary for normal growth and development. Of the plant. So this is the first criteria. It means if its deficiency occurs, then it can't grow in the presence of other nutrients. Suppose if you are getting a nutrient from a particular food, suppose for example vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is increased in our body due to taking curd. If we are not taking curd, then there are some substitutes which can be fulfill the requirement of vitamin B12. But here in case of plants, the element means the criteria for essentiality of the element. Here the first criteria should be the element which is providing to the plant must show the normal growth, means absolutely necessary for normal growth and development, and without it or in the absence of it, it can't be grow or it can't be complete its life cycle. Means plants also reproduce and produces seeds. If that element is lacked by the plant, then it can't reproduce and can't produce seeds. So we can say the second requirement is it must be specific. it must be specific. As I have told you in the above point, specific means the requirement of one element can't be fulfilled by other nutrient. Requirement of one nutrient means mineral nutrient can't be fulfilled by or can't be replaced by other elements. Clear? So this is the first criteria and this is the second criteria, and third criteria is said that it must be directly involved in the metabolism of plant. The element must be involved in the metabolism of plant. This is the third criteria. It defines that it means what do you mean by metabolic requirement of the plant? Metabolic requirement means plants have also produced protein, amino acid, DNA, RNA, chromosome are also present in plants. So for their repairing, for their formation, they also do different metabolic activities. Then the element which is taken by the plant must be involved directly in the process of metabolism of the plant. Clear, students? So on the basis of this criteria, it is found that means this criteria. Here I have told you, if your mother is giving you some food, what characters should be present in that food? That food make your body, keeps you healthy, also increases your immune system and fight against disease causing microorganisms. This also increase your memory. So like this, plants also have some specific nutrients, and what are the criteria or characteristic feature of this essentiality of nutrients? As I have told you that it must show that normal growth and development due to which reproduction occur and seed formation. Second, it must be specific, means no other mineral nutrient can replace this particular nutrient. Then element must be involved in the metabolism of plant. So regarding or based on the above criteria, the mineral nutrient is divided into two types. The mineral nutrient is divided into two types. One is, so nutrients is divided into two types. One is macro and another is micro. You can write the points here by taking the screenshot. Okay, students? So let's see what are macro and what are micronutrients. So as I have told you, some nutrients means based on the criteria of essentiality of elements, the nutrient is divided into two types. One is macro and another is micro. Macro means the nutrient or the mineral nutrient which is required by the plant in large amount. Macro means large amount and micro means small amount. I think you understand what I want to tell you that, like in case of you, when your mother is making curry or other vegetables, then she puts a little bit or a little oil. Clear? If we are making 1 kilo of vegetable, then we are adding 10 ml or 20 ml of oil. Why don't we use 1 liter of oil for making 1 kg of vegetables? What's the reason behind it? As I have told you, plants also have a balanced diet or balanced requirement of mineral nutrients, due to which they also need all the nutrients in different amounts. Like you are taking 4 chapatis, whereas the curry is only a bowl. If you are taking 4 slices of bread, then you have 2 slices of cheese. So this is the difference. Like in our nutrition, plants have so different type of nutrition. So the requirement is depending on the criteria is of two types, which I have told you. One is macro, means when the plant require the mineral nutrient in large amount, and another is micro, which is required by the plant in small amount. So how is the quantity, what is the quantity of the macro and micronutrients? If we see, then we can say 10 millimole kg inverse. 10 millimole kg inverse for dry mass. Clear? It means if the nutrient is required by the plant more than 10 millimole kg inverse of its dry mass or dry weight, then it is called as macro. Whereas if it is required by less than 10 millimole kg inverse dry weight or mass, we can say, this is called as micro. So here is the point which differentiates between macro and micronutrient. One is required in large amount, and the amount must be 10 millimole kg inverse of dry mass or dry weight, and micro is less than 10 millimole kg inverse dry weight, or we can say the dry mass of the matter. So what are the different type of macro and micronutrients? There are major 17 type of macro and micronutrients, 17 major type of macro and micronutrients, out of which 13 is required by plant. 13 is required by all the plants. And 4 means out of 7 you will study, or we will describe only about 13 mineral elements or nutrients. The 4 mineral nutrients are only required by higher plants. Clear, students? So 4 is required by higher plants, and rest of the 13 is required by all the plants. Then what are the 4? They are sodium, silicon, cobalt and selenium. Sodium, silicon, cobalt and selenium. You don't get confused. You don't think that we have studied in class 9 there are 13 mineral nutrient. Of course 13 mineral nutrient is required by all the plants, but here we will study about 17 major type of mineral nutrients, out of which 13 is common for all plants, but these 4 elements nutrients is only needed by some higher plants, and those 4 elements are sodium, silicon, cobalt and selenium. So after the 4 is gone from 17, there is only 13. Out of 13, some are included in macronutrient and some are included in micronutrient. So from where these nutrients are get by the plant, what is their importance, and what are the function of different mineral nutrients, and what will happen if they will not properly get by the plant, we will study all about this in the next class. For today, this is all about your introduction to macro and micronutrients.